Hello, and welcome to the Totally African podcast. This is episode number 3. We are really excited to be bringing to you another episode. And before we even get into the interview for today, which is a really great one, I want to tell you a little bit more about our podcast and what we're doing here. So the goal with this podcast is actually really simple. Our goal is to tell Africa's story. So we're doing this by talking to Africans from all across the continent, from Africans all across the world, and we're just interviewing them and putting a spotlight on them and hearing their stories and sharing their stories. I say that that's our goal because I think for so long, the African story has been told by someone else except the African people themselves. So whether it was through our school curriculums, whether it was through our textbooks, whether even the media, we always heard this very misconstrued, very twisted perspective of the African story. So through this podcast, we're going directly to Africans who are and hearing the stories directly from them. My name is Bob Shilingi. I am your host for this podcast, and I'm actually co-hosting, or I should say alternate hosting with my sister Nikki. She's recording back in the motherland. She's recording from Uganda, and I'm recording from Toronto, Canada, but connecting with the diaspora side of things and across the continent. And we are bringing to you new episodes every week, and it is available for the video format is available on YouTube, but for your podcast listeners, I'm personally a big fan of podcasts, so it's available across all streaming platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, whether it's Stitcher, whether it's Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just go ahead and search Totally African Podcast, and you'll be able to find all our content there. It's really exciting, and without further ado, let's jump into today's episode. So our guest today is, we have a really great guest and an amazing story. And her name is Sakina Mahama. She is from Ghana and Burkina Faso. She is actually a model and entrepreneur. And she has been featured in in magazines such as Essence Magazine and Teen Vogue, just to name a few. And she has also done a lot of work with different brands. And listen, the best way I could describe her, she is so Afrocentric. When you see her work on her Instagram page, which has about 14,000 followers, it is such Afrocentric. It just lives and breathes Africa. So we're going to go into this episode today just to discuss and talk about these different things about her career as a model, as an entrepreneur. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. So please, let's welcome Sakina to our podcast. Welcome, Sakina.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for giving me this platform. I really appreciate it. And I was super excited waking up this morning knowing I'm going to share something great today.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence. It really is awesome. And what you do, and we're going to get into it. And I was just letting the people know, I think they're in for a treat today because you're different. You're really different.
I try.
You try. I like that. So I think maybe just start off our conversation here. Like I mentioned, you're a model and you're also an entrepreneur. And these are two things that you've sort of fused together in some way, and we're gonna dig into that and see. So maybe we could start with the modeling side. So from how in the first place did you get into being a model and doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, with the modeling, even back in school, you remember Paula? Paula used to tell me, Sakina, don't waste your time. Do something. You can model, you can do it.
Right.
Just looking at you, I can see you doing so much. But then I think back in high school, I was also an African. I had that mentality that modeling is about exposing your body. Yeah, so I was like, oh no, it's not mine. Back then, I keep telling myself, no, this is not my field because I won't be comfortable exposing my body and stuff. But after high school and doing more research, I realized that modeling is very broad. You can even decide to be a nose model. They don't really show your face, but they just put the piercing and stuff there, or hand model where you wear rings and stuff. So when I did this research, I was like, okay, so I need to do something where a lot of people are not doing. And you know, modeling is mainly about beauty in this part of the world, like makeup, long hair, and all those things. So I said, okay, why don't I do mine a little different instead of like focusing more of the Western world type of modeling? Why don't I do something African? When you look at my page, you can see a lot of even sometimes people ask me, are you South African? Are you Mali? And I said no, but it's all like, that's the beauty of African culture. We are all connected in one way,
it's
but
true.
we refuse to accept our culture and other cultures in Africa. So we don't see how we are connected.
Right.
But if I go anywhere in Africa, it's the same thing for me. Like, it's the same thing for me, but we are more focused on, okay, what Beyonce is doing, what Naomi Campbell, but forgetting we have a rich culture here.
Yes.
Why don't we show them our beauty, even without makeup? When you wear your like native traditional clothes, why don't you show them those kind of things?
Right.
So I think that was where I started with the natural hair modeling.
Okay.
So I mostly tried to go Afro and show what we have, because everybody was, as I said, doing beauty, like a whole straight hair and things, but it gets boring. Do something else.
Something different.
It's like it's fake. Just be you. The thing is just being yourself as an African lady. So if you see my pictures, I started with the whole Afro, and then I started using African jewelry, like the Jinami earrings or something, like things, so that when they see, they'll be like, wow, this continent has something.
Yeah.
So I started that for a while. Then I said to myself, why don't I show like different cultures from different countries? I do something for Ghana, but when I came here in 2019, when I saw the Zulu stuff, you saw me in the Zulu.
I've seen that. So
when
cool.
I saw the Zulu stuff, I was like, this is for me. So I got it, and I couldn't do anything here because I didn't know a lot of people here. So I bought it to Ghana, and I went to do that shoot in Ghana, and I was like, whoa, like this is Africa.
I feel like you broke the internet with that photo shoot.
And
it was so cool.
Everyone, like my friends abroad were asking, oh, so what is this?
Right.
And I was like, this is us. Like, this is the Zulu culture. This is what the Zulu queens and warrior, this is what they look like. This is how they go out on the field. And so people went, like, I had this guy from Italy, he went researching and things, and he was even telling me more about it. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want.
There you go. That is so awesome. And you know, I really realized that even for all the listeners right now, I would love you to just go check out Sakina's Instagram page. It's Sakina Mahama with a little underscore at the end. It is just it's such a beautiful expression of African culture and African, you know, tradition. I am such a fan. I'm such a fan. And even what you're talking about, that, you know, it's really a way that you're being different, but it's also a way of you like teaching people and telling people about our own culture, our own traditions. And and so with that, why do you think it's important, you know, for us to share that, and for us to continue, for you as well as a model in in your own work, why do you think it's important to continue to promote this African culture?
It's important because I feel like we have more than what is on the other side. But just because, I don't know, just because we feel like they are superior or they are more ahead of us, we just like to do theirs and leave ours behind. But then whatever we are doing, I mean, it's theirs, so they are very good at what they are doing. We are just copying and imitating. But when we do ours, then we are more confident and also more good at ours.
I love this.
So I cannot dress in a certain way and compare myself to an American model. But when I do my own African culture photo shoot, and
Yeah.
I take an American, and the American model also cannot imagine herself
In
doing
that.
man so good. You get it?
Yes,
So that's why
exactly.
it's important for us to do ours,
Yeah,
because this is what we have. This is what we've lived with.
I
This is
agree.
what our ancestors have done.
Yeah.
And then they left it for us to continue. So why would we want to bury it and rather copy what somebody is
Else
doing?
is
And
doing,
then
yes.
anytime we even copy them, it doesn't blend so much.
Yeah.
It doesn't blend so much.
So
I try
true.
as much as possible to always present myself without like makeup. It's okay to do it once in a while, but this is you.
The
like
authentic
this is
self.
you.
I love that. I love
So
that.
it's really important
Yeah,
to
I
show
definitely
what
agree.
you have. Yeah.
I definitely agree. And even with this podcast, that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to tell Africa's story, by talking to Africans or by putting a spotlight on Africans like yourself.
Yeah, I had people tell me that if I do more of the Western style, I'll go far. But then it's not about going far. Far with what? Is it money? Is it fame? No.
Yeah.
Money and fame. You could have all that and you're still not happy. So why don't you do yours? Even the little you get from it, you know that yes, happy with what I'm doing.
That is so true. That is so true. And for me, I also see that it sets you apart. It's very Afrocentric. It's very Afrofuturistic. I'm really a fan of it myself. And, I realize, and even to your point as well, that, most of what we see, especially in the African continent, we're always trying to mimic. We're always trying to maybe go outside and instead of embracing, because what we have, we're so rich. We're so rich in culture and tradition.
Imagine. Like my dream is to visit every African country on this continent. I've started already.
You've started.
I've started already.
Exactly. For those who don't know, Sakina is actually currently in South Africa. She's not even back home in Ghana. She's currently in South Africa.
I'm not even imagining myself going back soon. Like I'm just planning to go to Swaziland because I love the culture out there.
Yes.
I want to go there for a few days and learn and connect with them and come back here before I go home.
Yeah, that's really great. So, now talking a little bit more about these like photos, because again, guys, check out her Instagram page, because when I go through your Instagram page, I just feel connected.
Exactly.
I just feel connected to the motherland.
These are things you understand.
Yes. You just feel that connection to the motherland, and it's so authentically African. That's the best way I could describe it. And so when you're coming up with like these photo shoots and these different projects, is it something that you come up with? Is it that you're working with different maybe photographers or different, because I know you've been featured in quite a bunch of different projects, right?
Yeah, so most of my photos is my ideas.
Okay.
So what I do is I have a lot of like photographers that I can work with.
Okay.
But then as I said, not every shoot fits me.
Right.
I'd rather focus more on ours than the other side.
Right.
So I have about 3 or 4 photographers. Anytime I create something, I tell them, okay, I want to do this and this. So I send them the concept. So it's more like I create my own concept.
Nice.
And then
Very cool.
tell the photographers. And then whoever is interested gets to shoot me. And then the advantage, before it was difficult because I have to pay them to do. But I think when I explain that I'm trying to impact Africans and things, I mean, some of them saw it on their own, so they keep asking me, if you have anything, any concepts, just let me know. Like I'm ready for us to do something. So along the line, it has become more easy because I get professional photographers to take me these pictures for free because they visualize it this way. Okay, I'm taking Sakina, but at the end of the day, we are showing the beauty of the continent. So why should I charge her? So it has become more easier for me.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And also, I have a photographer in Germany. So he actually flew here just for us to take like all this
Very cool.
African. Yeah, it's on my
Yeah.
page.
Nice. Yeah.
Just for us. So that is what I'm saying. Let's do ours
Yeah.
and push it. They'll fall
Exactly.
in love and it will bring them here
And there's so much
rather
to
than
fall in
us
love
always
with.
going to them.
Yes, there really is so much to fall in love with when it comes to African culture and all this. So, and I'm really glad that you're doing that and you're promoting that heavy because it's needed. It's really needed.
Yeah.
It's really needed. So we have already talked about one of them, but what are some of those, maybe those photo shoots that have been like maybe 2 or 3 of those that have been really memorable? I know we saw the Zulu one, man. Listen, that thing blew up. It was everywhere. I think up to today. Up to today, I still see that picture.
Yeah, I did that. I took it to Afrochella.
Yes,
Afrochella is big. Yeah. And then to my amaze, like I'll just be walking and somebody will be like, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? But at the end of the day, I saw that these were actually big platforms like Teen Vogue, SS.
Yes.
I didn't know they were the ones taking me at that point. Because that day I took pictures, like it's just yes to everybody because it's new to them and everything. But when I went to it, I was like, oh, so this person was from this. And
right.
Yeah. I think I don't have favorites in my photos. Yeah, I love all of them.
You love all of them. Fair enough. And I can't wait for our listeners to just dive into your platform and see what you're doing because I'm telling you, there's so much to be seen and so much to be celebrated there. And again, that expression of African culture, that expression of who we are. And it's really, I'm such a fan. I'm really a fan. Yeah. So who are some people who have inspired you, let's say in the model, because we're going to get into, because I know that you do the modeling and you do the entrepreneurship as well. And from the modeling world, what is some of the inspiration, or is it just the African culture? Are there some specific people as well who inspire you in that world, or?
Before, I mean, when I was a little younger, when I didn't start the whole African thing, I was looking up to Tyra Banks, Naomi Campbell and things. But now that I've channeled myself, it's just me. Wake up and do your thing.
Exactly.
That's just it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think Africa itself is your inspiration.
Yes.
That is really awesome. That's really cool. And I just love that. And I love that for you. And I think it's worth doing. And we're championing you on to continue doing what you're doing. And so in addition to, your modeling career and all that you're doing there, you are also an entrepreneur in the health and wellness space, right?
Yes.
And so what made you venture out into entrepreneurship, into business and all that?
So after second year of uni, I was thinking of, because my modeling career is mostly my creation. Right. So it's not a paid job.
Yeah.
There are things I do. That's my passion. Yeah. So I was thinking of, okay, if I want to get like all this clothing and African outfits and stuff, travel to all these African countries, right? Then I need a source.
Right.
Exactly. Because it's not like I have a manager or somebody there pushing me. This is just my own thing. So I was thinking, okay, why don't I just do something to give me the money? So whilst okay, then I can go to one African country, come back, work hard again, go and do my thing.
Gotcha.
So I spoke to a friend in New York, Demi. It's a bit younger than me, but I knew he wasn't from a very wealthy home. But I saw the transformation on his Facebook. So I was like, hey, what have you been up to? And he was like, oh, I just joined Total Life Changes, this company from Michigan, and they are doing so well and stuff. And I was like, oh, can I do it here? Yeah. And he said, yes, you can do it everywhere. And I said, okay, but how many people are doing it in Ghana? And he was like, he doesn't know anyone doing it in Ghana, but he has 2 guys, one from Benin and one from Senegal. And I was like, okay, he should share their contacts. And then he took me through everything, and I was like, okay, first when he said it's network marketing, I was like, nah, it's not for me.
Right.
But then I was like, can I just focus on my products just by selling and make money without people? Because there's one thing about network marketing. I keep telling people, there are so many network marketing in this world. Take one. If it works for you, go for it.
Yeah.
Because people have done network marketing and they are billionaires now.
Right.
People have done network marketing and they've not gotten anywhere.
Yeah.
You just have to know yourself and what works for you.
Right.
So I asked him, can I make money without people? Because this is how I think about it. If I'm going to tell Bob, come and join my business for me to make, let's say, $50, then Bob will tell me, I'll think about it. Then you have like 3 months before you come. So will I sit here starving till Bob comes to me and say yes?
Yeah.
So that is why I didn't want the whole people, because, one, remember I just mentioned nobody's doing it in Ghana. So people don't know it. And when you bring new things here, there's a whole lot of question marks because they don't know it. So
that's true.
It's a no for them.
That's true.
So I was like, okay, I can push it, but before then, I have to talk to these 2 African guys because I knew that they are my brother, like they are my brothers. They will tell me if it's really me or not. So I had to travel by road, Accra to Benin after Togo to meet these people. And when I got there, I was like, my whole mindset changed. I was like, oh, really? So you guys are doing it? And then when I saw their back office at that time, that's 2018, they were making like $5,000 a week.
Whoa.
And I was like, at that time, I only needed to make, even if it's just $20 a week, and I'm okay. You know, because I'm a student and I've not done anything to bring money. So the little I would like, so when I saw these guys, I became more confident. I came back home and then I spoke to my friend in New York. I was like, sign me in, let me start.
Got you.
But my first 3-4 months, Bob, if I make $40 a week, like I'm the happiest. Like I'm so excited with the little I was making. Then eventually it became to like $500 a week. And then it keeps coming and coming and coming.
Right.
Yeah. So it has been smooth, I would say. But just that the problem I have with people, like the people around me, is that they just want to make it within one day.
Right.
But it's not. Momentum comes when you do the little wins, but you don't just get up and say, okay, you're at the top. Because I was teaching my friend, she can do it, but she doesn't, just because Sakina is making over $500 a week. She's not happy making like 100, 200.
Right.
But trust me, the truth is when I was where she was, I wasn't making that much because then now people know it around around Africa. When I started, people didn't know it. So it was even to just make that $20 was totally
a challenge.
I was talking to her and she said, oh, I want to make do like here, and I was like, hey, I did this in 3 years, and trust me, in 1 month she made $1,500. I didn't make that in 5 months.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
I didn't even make $500 in 5 months because it was totally new. I tell people, they don't believe it. Oh, this is American stuff. Oh, this doesn't work for the African system. The American people, it works for them because their foods are lighter. I had it from all angles.
Right.
But then I know where I was going, as I said. And then the reason why I was able to come this far is because I appreciated the little I was making. You know, it's a small win, but it's a plus.
Exactly. A win is a win.
$20 is money.
Exactly.
It's small, but it was a plus to me because before I wasn't making that. So in all, the problem with me, African youth today is we want it so fast.
We want it quick. Right.
Yeah. So most of my girlfriends, some are back off because they want something quick, but it doesn't work like
that. Yeah.
One lady paused,
Mm-hmm.
and then now she's back again. And I was talking to her, I was like, you were making something. And you see, we claim we have faith in God.
Right.
Have faith in yourself. You are making
Right.
something.
Right.
Why don't you have that same faith and push yourself rather
Right.
than wanting it quick? So then where is the faith now?
I hear you. Yeah. Definitely. I think it's definitely something that we, in all types of business, you know, it's something that we have to appreciate, that things take time, right? Things definitely take time. And now with regards to that, now you're growing and you're building this, right? And I know, and I like what you said as well. It's not something that's for everybody, but for those that it's for, you have to try it out and see if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, that's okay. Yeah. And that's a great way to go about it in that regard. And now with that in mind, I'm wondering if there's a way that you fuse both the modeling career as well as this health and wellness entrepreneurship, right? If they're helping each other in a way, because I'm sure it's helping you develop like a specific kind of like mindset, right? Because mindset is really heavy in this, right?
So just few months ago, I was talking to a friend. The whole modeling thing in Ghana, like the truth is, it pays very little. So I'm not doing modeling full time. It's just my part time. It's more of a hobby for me.
Yeah,
but I have friends who are doing full time modeling, and then sometimes they'll call you, they need help with little things, and you'll be like, it's not worth it. Then if you are able to do all this and you are still struggling, then I mean, once in a while we all get our downfall. We all need help in some, but when it comes every time, you should know that you are not doing something right.
Yeah.
So the whole modeling thing is not really paid in Africa, which is understandable. So I was telling my friends that, okay, you are already into this industry, and you know this industry, some people have to look in a certain way. Why don't you come on board? Try and sell it to people who are bloating for them to shape up and make some money. And you continue doing your modeling. Instead of just focusing on only modeling and you're struggling. I was telling one guy this. I was like, this business, it's not for ladies. Sometimes people think it's only for women. It's for everybody.
It's for everyone.
It's a guy who told me this. It wasn't a lady. So why don't you do this or look for a full-time job? And his problem was, if I get a full-time job, then when people call me to do modeling jobs,
you won't be able to.
I cannot go. And I was like, yes, I understand. But even the full-time you are doing, it's not doing the little things for you.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I'm sure those are some of like the challenges that is being faced by different models in Africa, right? Because of the fact, like you say, the pay.
It's good to be a model, like that is what you want, do it, but you also have to do something on the side, like side hustle. The people who are really doing well, the Africans who are really doing well in modeling, is Africans who are in Italy, America, and all those things, because they are with agencies who are always getting them to do something. So they get paid. And then accommodation is being paid for, flight is being paid for. So you cannot sit back and also want the same thing. That is different. If you are not there yet, try and do something on the side. Could be anything. It could be anything at all.
Exactly.
Even if you are even making $1, it's okay.
It's something. I hear you. I hear you in that. That's very, very interesting. And I'm wondering what are some of the things that can be done to change that, you know, because like you said, some of the big African models are not really in Africa necessarily. They may be like you said, either Italy or like the US and New York and all that, right? I'm wondering what can be done to change that, or to create new opportunities for some of the models in the continent, like yourself.
For me, it's I think first of all we need to change the whole modeling mindset. Like everybody is a runway and photo model. I don't know if you've realized I'm only doing photo modeling, but you've not seen any runway. Yeah, because with the runway, I feel like I'll put more energy and time in, and I won't get to do so many things that I'm doing. But with the photo modeling, I can say, okay, let me take 20 minutes today, just dress up and do my thing. But with the runway, you know, it's a process. You have to walk and things. And even when you are working for designers, you have to go for fitting, you do this training.
Oh, that's true.
And at the end of the day, it's not worth it. So why will I channel my energy there when I could easily do this one? That's how I chose my path. I don't know your own story, but I believe some people can do both. It's not like I can't do runway. I can, but I just believe it's not worth it for me because I have to be going up and down, and the stress is not worth it on this side. So every model should look around them and see what their strength is. You don't have to do what everybody is doing.
I like that.
You don't have to do you can just be hair model. If somebody have their wig shop or any hairstyle, they'll just use you. That's all. You don't need to show your body. Hair portrait shoots. So just look around yourself and work on that. It will, if you work on that, it will be more passion for you. So it will be easier rather than trying to do what. If you are doing everything, it becomes difficult. Because now you are trying to walk this way, you are trying to do this. Like some people can do the balance in a more comfortable environment because I know that, okay, Bob is my designer. He's sending his driver to pick me up for fitting. And once I'm there training, Bob is giving me food, and that is different. But you struggling, imagine me. You know, I'm a model. You call me, I tell you, oh, Bob, I'm in a Trotsky, getting to Spinters Road. I have to do fitting, like all those kind of things. It's not encouraging. Exactly. So you have to look around yourself and take what is best for you and focus on that. And then modeling is passion. So the moment you are struggling to, then something is not, something is not right. It should flow.
It should just be enjoying.
I mean, it's okay to, maybe you want me to pose in a certain way that I'm not too flexible with, but because you are going to pay me to advertise your stuff, so that is fine. But if you are struggling so much into it, then it's not for you. Because if the passion is not there, the flair won't be there. You tell me to do this, then psychologically I'll be frowning and not comfortable. So it's all coming out.
I get that.
First, we should re-identify the whole modeling. And then secondly, managers in Africa. So I've never been with any agency before. This is my reason. And I'm sure most people listening have gone through the same thing. Or maybe some people have had. So if, let's say you are my manager, and then maybe your sister wants to work with me, she has to call you and I'll go and do the job. So now, if she calls me, she calls you and I go and do the job, why will Bob, as my manager, take a higher percentage than me going to your sister to do all the work? It's different. This one worked this way. Your sister, let's say your sister called me via Instagram. So she saw me, and then because I have a manager to show respect and do it the right way, I tell you, I don't mind if you have to take 40-30%. But why will you have to take like 70%? And me going there
to do all the work?
I'm the one doing all the job. So honestly, I'll have no problem if you call me, hey Sakina, I've gotten a job for you at ABC. Okay, when I go, I did the job. Let's say the money is 1,000, and you tell me 50% is yours. I will gladly give you that, because then Bob, my manager, went out there, look for something for me to do. And even if that is on 50-50, I'm fine, because I also don't know how far you stretch to get that.
I get that.
That is 50. Me going to do the work is 50. But most of African managers, in terms of modeling, they don't do anything for us. The little you are doing, they want to take a higher percentage.
Right. And
So the
that's
modeling house has to change.
Yeah.
Like we should have like contracts, like solid contracts, not selfish contracts that the person will do all the work and you are still taking all the percentage. How is that going to even encourage the model?
Yeah, it's
Because
so true.
you are in your house. You have no idea what I want to do there. Sometimes people stand in hills for 4, 6, 10 hours.
Wow.
And you are just sitting at home, and then you tell the model you have to take 70%.
Wow.
It's not
Yeah. That's so true.
For me, highest 50-50 is fine, but that's when you get the job.
Yeah.
But when they also, because the model also tries to get jobs
her own
by
work,
branding herself and posting on her Instagram.
Yeah.
So if we are able to change just these two, first the whole modeling mindset, you understanding that not everything is yours. If you can do everything, it's fine, but you cannot do photo, runway, and everything together.
Exactly.
It doesn't work. It's just like me being 5 feet, and then I tell you I'm a runway model. It doesn't run.
Got you.
But even if I'm just 2 feet or 3 feet, and I tell you I'm an editorial model, yes, maybe I just have to sit in the coffee shop and be smiling, or I just have to do something. I don't need height for that. But with runway, you need the height. So if we know if we know the whole, like, understand the definition of modeling and getting the mindset, and then 2, if this whole modeling house managers and whatever, if they try to make things a little more interesting and flexible for us, I think it will change the whole modeling narrative. Definitely. So I've never been with a manager
because of that reason, right? Yeah. And it's so crazy when we hear some of those stories about that, where you hear a story about like someone's contract, and whether it's in the model or even sometimes like in the music industry as well, where someone's contract or because of they're under a manager and they are not getting much because whoever they're working for has taken a huge percentage of their
we should change this narrative.
That definitely needs to change.
It's not encouraging.
That really needs to change.
Also, the problem with modeling in Africa, I don't know about on the other side, because I've not been to the other side. Like, people call me that their managers want to have extra affairs with them and stuff.
Man.
I keep telling them, hey, just quit, okay? If you are destined to be a top model, it will come. It just need that one person to push you up there.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it.
Very true.
And all this, it makes a lot of people feel like if you don't honor your manager, you cannot make it, or you cannot go, you won't get the contract. But at the end of the day, these people are not even getting you the job.
Right.
So
it has that's really unfortunate. Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
If any manager should harass any model to do ABC, like have an affair with them, they should be fined, or they have to jail them. So definitely. When we change all these things, I think everybody will be fine. It's just these two, the mindset, and then the model house has the managers and everything. If these two change, I think we are good to go.
And I we know, as you're speaking before, I really realized, Sakina, that you have a very strong self-awareness when you're talking about that mindset. Which is I think it's very important, right? And it's very needed.
This year I'm trying to be more like intentional about myself. Because I won't say I've always been confident. Back in school, I wasn't. I was okay, but I wasn't that confident. But sometimes when you are in an environment, you don't always have to wait to be the victim to change. Sometimes you learn from others. Maybe I wasn't attacked in that way. You have to sleep with me to get this. But I've known a lot of people who have gone through that. And when they tell me, you see the pain, I feel for them.
I know.
So that pain also adds to my confidence.
Right.
Because last year, there was this guy. in the UK. He wanted to sign me up, and when I went through the contract, it was they take 20%. So let's say they get me the job. The jobs are in Italy. So the agency pays your flight and everything there. You do the work. So if it's $1,000 pay, they pay me. I will give them 20%.
Okay.
When I read the contract, I laughed. I was like, you see, this is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Because you are going to do, it's so you got me the contract. It's understandable.
Yeah.
You get your own percentage because maybe that is your job. But then you don't sit there saying you take 80. So when I read it and then thinking back home here,
right. Wow. Look at the difference.
Bob, when will we change?
This is hopefully this is what this podcast, we can start conversations like these, to see how we can start to change things like this and even bring more awareness to things like this.
Sometimes you don't have to wait to be the victim. You have to learn. Like now, the world is evolving so fast.
So quick,
you have to learn quick and catch up.
Right. It's so true.
One thing I also did was I had the confidence to tell people, no, this is not my field. Because I had people giving me all these bikini nude contracts and they were paying huge. But as I said, it's passion. I have to be happy. So what is the point of me saying, okay, because of the money, maybe you are giving me $2,000. Now I'm in the bikini and I'm shooting, then I'll be doing this.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
This. It's not for you. That's fine. It's for somebody. But something is also for you. No matter how small it is. Something is for you.
I think that's self-awareness.
Exactly.
That self-awareness is really a great strength. It's really, really a great strength because you have to know what's, like you said, what's for you and what's not for you. And I think that's maybe, especially for the young, very, very young models who are just getting into the industry, I think that would be a great piece of advice for them. Just know your own, be self-aware. Actually, not even just models, but everyone in general, whatever it is you're doing. Whatever it is you're doing, to have that strong.
Because trying to do everything will just not help you.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. It helps to be that. And also when you now build your own style, that's what you're known for. Like, for example, for you, when I see you're African and all that, that's literally what you're known for.
Yes, if you can create. If you can't create, just still follow the trend, but follow what works for you. Because I know some models in Ghana, when they do all this nude, and you could see from their face that
not comfortable.
You cannot even see the art in this because the person standing there is already uncomfortable. So why did you do it? Just say, oh no, this is not mine. But you see, if you had a side hustle like me, you always make some small money.
You're not stressed.
You say no to this.
That's
I
right.
also understand that maybe you need to pay bills, you need to take care of yourself, you need some little new clothing, and saying no to this, all these things will not be all these things will not be possible. If you say no to this, then you see they're starving. So I totally understand them, but we can change it. We can change it so that when we say no, we are not disappointed. We are saying no with confidence, knowing that no, it won't work for me. I understand.
Yeah, definitely. And that's very true. And I'm glad that you mentioned that as well. And even bringing up that side hustle, which you are doing. And in the world we live in today, there's so many different things you can pick up as a side hustle. Really, really so many. But what would you say, in the business you're doing has been some of the things that, whether it be the mindset, what are some of the things that have really helped you to grow in that regards? I know you talked a bit about patience, right? And just being patient and trusting that process and not wanting, instant gratification, which I feel like our generation has so much. So what would be some of the attributes that have helped you in your growth with regards to that business?
I think first is consistency. Since I started, I've never actually said, oh no, let me just, I've made enough, let me just relax. Or it's in my mind that this is what is pushing me every day. This is what is paying my bills.
Yeah.
This is what is helping me go around the world.
Yeah.
So each and every second I'm putting in my tea business is
Right.
equally important.
Yes.
No matter how much I'm making, like when I got here, even from the airport, I started talking to people like Africans about what I do, why are they here and things, because I wanted to see, okay, everyone is traveling for a purpose. Maybe they're coming back home. Or so when I spoke to one Ugandan lady, she said she was just coming to like drop a parcel here, and I was like, oh, you flew all the way to drop something?
Right.
What do you do? Are you schooling? She said, no, not now. And I said, okay, I'm actually here for business, and I'll be glad to share it with you, since I mean you are going to be here for a day. So I invited her over.
Yeah.
And then this morning she called me that when she went back home, she told few people about the products and things. And then she's buying so much already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
That's
like
amazing.
that. So
Just
imagine
like
I
that.
stood at the airport quietly or not saying hi or something.
That's I love that. I love that. The consistency
So
is
like,
very key. Yeah.
if you are doing something, always regard it. Don't say, oh, okay, I've made enough, let me just sleep. Like, keep pushing it. We get so comfortable.
It's so true. It's so true. It's so true.
I won't say, okay, I've made $1,000 this week, so okay, I'm in
great.
South Africa. Let me just go and chill. And the fun is very necessary.
Yeah.
If I'm working hard and not having fun, what is the point? So why am I working hard? But take your business serious. Like, take your business serious, because you never know where your big opportunity is.
Exactly.
I didn't, when I left Ghana, I didn't know I'll sell anything to anyone in Uganda, but just by saying hello at the airport to someone.
There you go. Yeah.
Just today, I've made a lot.
Yeah, that's so true, and I think it's something that everyone.
Consistency is very important.
Very, very, very key. And
the patience is there. Be patient.
Right.
Be patient. You get there.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes it will take time, but you get there. I think I've been doing this for 3 years, and last year has been like my peak. The other years were slow in between, but it's get there. And I have someone in Takoradi back in Ghana. She's doing so well.
Right.
What I didn't make in a year, she has made it in a month and 2 weeks. I didn't make that in 1 year.
Wow.
And when I told her, she didn't believe it. I was like, yes, I wasn't making it. But the good thing is, in this business, is you could go back to those dates and actually see what you've done. So when I showed it to her, she was like, wow, so you were making I was like, yes, I was making $20 and $40. But the reason why I'm making the 1,000 today is I appreciated those things. So I keep telling people, the small wins,
celebrate them. Yeah, exactly.
It will create the momentum.
Yeah.
Just appreciate it.
I love
that. If you're making this little and you are pushing yourself down, then how can you get there?
Yeah, I love that.
It's just the same thing as little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Yeah.
That's
so you
right.
Start, you win.
That's
you
right.
win small. Be grateful about it.
Yeah, it's true. It's
true.
So
you can win.
It's so true.
Because your neighbor is making more than that. That is your neighbor's business. Focus on yours.
Right. Very, very, very true. I really love that. And that is so needed to understand, because again, we are in this generation where we expect things so quick and expect outcomes so quick, and unfortunately that stifles a lot of our growth, that stops us from maybe being the greatness that we could have developed.
Maybe you're quitting today, okay,
and tomorrow
tomorrow is your day. So just take it easy.
Just relax, just go with it. I love that. And I think that's some great advice. And regardless of what business, regardless of what you're doing in life, honestly, the consistency, the patience, and take it as those small wins. Those small wins add up. They really, really do. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think that's something everyone can take away from this interview. Well, we have really had a great time here, Sakina. We have a final question that we ask every guest on the Totally African podcast.
Okay.
But before I ask that, let the people, the listeners, know how can they connect with you online, or what's the best way they can reach you?
Yeah, I'm always on Instagram. So
Okay.
Instagram is a good platform, but if they are not on Instagram, they can connect with me via email, smahamadabre@gmail.com.
Okay, awesome. We'll leave those little details in the description below, and you can definitely check that out. So our final question, which we ask all our guests here, is how do you, Sakina, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as the Impact African lady.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I like that a lot.
Just it. Like when you hear Sakina, I want you to... The first thing that should come to your mind is the African lady, not just a Ghanaian, but the whole African lady.
African impact lady.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm trying to impact Africa in the little ways, but I'll get there.
And you are, believe me, you are. And I hope more people will discover you through this podcast and even learn more about you, for those who are already following you. And I think this was such an amazing interview. Thank you so much for being here with us. And
I'll be waiting to talk to anyone who wants to ask more questions or do anything. I mean, I have a lot of business ideas. I can just share to you, and whichever will work for you, you go for it.
There you go.
For them.
That's awesome. Well, we'll leave the details below for them to contact you if they will. And thank you once again for being on our podcast. And
thank you so much.
All right, have a great day.